Shalom friends, this is Corlin Vega and my closest friends call me Mime. And in this video, I'd like to talk about high ticket coaching and consulting, especially the kind that is online, to high ticket online coaching and consulting. So the reason why I'm promoting online coaching and consulting is because really that's where the future is going. That's the way to attain financial freedom, scalability, location freedom, so you're not tied to a certain location or the city or anywhere like that. You can be anywhere you want and still work and serve your clients and make money, good money. So there's location freedom, there's time freedom. With coaching and consulting, it's very flexible. You may have to meet with your clients and your customers at certain appointed times, but it's not like a regular job where you're gonna have to clock in 9 to 5 every single day. So there is time freedom. You can work around your schedule and theirs. And another thing is, especially when it's online, a lot of things can be done on video and recorded, so that something that you would normally have to tell a client, you don't have to do it in real time. You can record a video and then they can watch it on their leisure. And that's something that a lot of my clients have found beneficial when working with me. So there's location freedom, there's time freedom, and there's also financial freedom. So when you do the coaching and consulting model, you are not trading an hourly rate, time for money. It's not like that. You may set a rate, but that doesn't mean that you have to work hourly. There's a lot of things that can be outsourced, or it can be recorded on video, as I said before, so that 1 hour of your time can be multiplied by 10, for example, when it comes to payment, because a lot of times your clients or your students or your customers, whoever it is that you're working for and whoever you're working with, a lot of times their problems are going to be the same as a lot of other people's problems. There's going to be a lot of crossover, so you can leverage your time by recording a lot of your instructional advice or teachings and then reusing them. So there are 3 very profitable niches or niches. I don't know how you call it, but and you don't have to pick one of these niches, but I think you can find that whatever your niche is, you can probably fit it into one of these niches, okay? And these three niches or niches are just very lucrative. People will pay a lot of money to find solutions within these 3 niches. And these 3 niches are health, wealth, and relationships. People spend a lot of money on their health. They spend a lot of money on health insurance, on surgeries, on procedures, on supplements, different things. Now, my family is holistic, so we don't have insurance, and we don't see, normal doctors or hardly any doctors at all. But what we spend our money on when it comes in terms to health is we've spent a lot of money on education. We've also spent a lot of money on supplements and stuff like that. So people will spend a lot of money if you can show them how to solve a health problem. There's virtual programs to help people balance their hormones, lose weight, different things, heal from cancer, all kinds of different things. People spend thousands and thousands of dollars to learn how to solve their health problems. Okay, and another thing that people spend a lot of money on is wealth. And so this means anything that fits under business right? So if you are a B2B, if you're a business, if your clients and customers are another business, that means you're a B2B, business to business type of model, then that means that you are helping people get wealthy, right? You're helping people to increase their wealth. You're helping people, for me, I am a digital marketer, so I help people get their business online, right? By helping them, get a website, do social media marketing, run online ads, graphic design, so on and so forth. And so all of my clients, the reason why they hire me is because they want to increase their profits. They want to increase their wealth. Same thing with accountants. Same thing with even graphic designers. For the most part, the money is going to be when you're helping people who are trying to increase their wealth, right? So wealth, lawyers, same thing. We have business lawyers that make a lot of money with the various legal aspects of the business, whether it's with contracts or financial aspects. And then we also have relationships. People will spend a lot of money on their marriage. They'll purchase programs that will help them improve their marriage. They'll purchase programs that will help them to find a date, how to save their marriage, how to salvage their marriage, how to help them break free from addiction to porn so that their wife will stay with them, or how to help a woman might purchase a product like that to help their husband break free from that addiction so that they can have a better marriage. So these are different types of coaching and consulting niches that are highly profitable and that people will spend a lot of money on. So most things can probably be fit into one of these three, even if you don't necessarily think so. You can. There's this man who set up a coaching and course program, learning program on how to do handstands. Handstands. And his business coach asked him, if we're going to market this, we have to find out what the benefits are. Why would anyone care to learn a handstand? Why would anyone pay to do that? And he started listing all sorts of health benefits. It helps you, I forgot what they were exactly. It helps you with balance. It helps you maybe with posture. It helps you with strength and, different things like that. And they're all health related. So even though he wanted to teach people how to do handstands, because he was able to fit it in one of these niches, either health, wealth, or relationships, well, then that's how he was able to market his skill, his gift profitably. And before he figured that out, he wasn't making a lot of money with his program. But after he was able to, fit that into a niche, he became successful. Now, you don't have to be a licensed expert. You don't have to have a special degree. You don't have to, you don't have to go to school for many, many years to have a profitable business. There are some things that are important that you have to have. One of them is you should have enough drive to do this thing, to do this business, to be in this niche. And the way you have drive is, number one way is if you have a passion for that niche. Okay? If you have a passion to help people with their marriages, if you have a passion to help people, have a healthy pregnancy, how to help people brand themselves so that they can look professional to the world, how to help people get their message out so that they can increase their leads in sales. So you have to have a drive. Okay, so passion is one of those things. So meaning it's something that you love to do. Okay, you love to do it. You're drawn to it. Another thing is, even if you don't necessarily have a lot of passion for it, but you're an expert at it for whatever the reason. There's a lady who was really good at balancing budgets, and she never went to school formally for accounting, but what she did was she became a digital marketer for accountants because she just loved that field of accounting and money. And the reason why she got into that field is because growing up, she was actually very poor, and so she would always make sure that her family's budget was balanced and they weren't overspending. She was doing this as a teenager, and that's how she got into this niche. So it's not like, it's not like she loved doing it necessarily, but she's very good at it because she had been doing it as basically a survival skill when she was young. So we have doing something because you love it, because it's your passion, and then we have picking a niche because you are just good at it for whatever the reason, because you have experience, or maybe you started working for a company where you specialize in a certain kind of software, or you mastered a certain kind of software that a lot of businesses use. And so if you master that software and you know it in and out, it doesn't matter if you have a degree, you are an expert in that software. And if people use that software to make money, you can become a consultant or a coach for businesses because of that tool that you know. Okay, so those are two ways that you can find drive or energy to do a coaching and consulting business. Number one is your passion, your interest, and number two is your experience and your skill. Now, when it comes to something being your passion and interest, just because it's your passion and interest, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have a lot of experience with it yet. If you have enough experience that you feel that you could at least guide someone who is just starting out, so let's say you have intermediate experience in something, then you can still do coaching and consulting in that niche. So you won't be able to do it for advanced people who have advanced needs, but you'll still be able to do it for people who have basic or beginner needs. Okay, so you don't have to be an expert, and you don't have to have a PhD in this thing. Now, for marriage coaching, I know a very successful marriage coach who created a program which was both online and offline. She created an online program, but she also offered retreats where people could get away and be with other couples who were working on their marriage. And especially during these times when everyone is on lockdown and we can't go out much, her online program is doing a lot better than the in-person one, and it's also more affordable. It's usually always a lot more affordable, and you can still create the experience of being in like a marriage conference by offering Facebook groups or some kind of other interactive experience where they can dialogue with other people. There was another lady who created a very successful training program teaching people how to run a successful daycare. And she created that learning program because she herself ran a successful daycare. And she ended up creating this online training program on how to do that, every aspect of it, from dealing with the children to the business aspects, to even some advice on some legal issues that people might encounter. It's just basically her knowledge of everything that she learned having her own daycare center and running it and managing it. And it was very successful, and she ended up making more money through that program than she ever did actually running a daycare center. Why? Because it was extremely scalable. Once she created the program, she could sell it to, thousands of people or more. There's really no limit. And, she still had to be there for the students that were learning from her, answering questions and guiding them and whatnot, coaching them, encouraging them. But it was just very scalable. You create this program and you can basically sell it to the world. The world can be your customer base, your client base. Whereas when you run a physical daycare, your client base can only be people who are close enough to drop their children off at your house, right? Another example is there is this lady who had a failing marriage, and she was able to save her marriage herself, meaning when she was working on her marriage, her husband did not want to work on the marriage. Her husband wanted to leave. Her husband didn't want to save the marriage, did not want to salvage the marriage. And so she took it upon herself to save the relationship. And she took this, she did as much as she could, and she learned as much as she could. And through her experience, and it worked. And through her experience, thank you so much. Through her experience, she was able to create a program and share with everyone how she successfully saved her marriage, even when her spouse didn't want to. And now they have an awesome marriage, and her spouse even helps her out with her marriage coaching program. And she is not a licensed anything. She's not a counselor. She's not a therapist. She's not anything. She doesn't have any kind of degree. But her program is highly profitable and highly successful because she has experience. She had a very powerful experience, and she's willing to be there for others. She's willing to serve other people, other men and women, and she's willing to open up her personal life to show people how she accomplished it. And you know what? Another thing is that she can also leverage the expertise of experts, right? So even though, if you go into anything, whether you go into business or health or wealth, even though you don't have a degree in business, even though you're not, a marriage counselor, that doesn't mean that you can't help someone in that field somehow, especially if you have a personal experience and how you overcame certain challenges yourself. But in addition to that, you can also add the experience and the knowledge and the wisdom of experts, right? So, like if you were to do let's just take, for example, if I were to do some kind of homeschooling program. So I homeschool, right? Wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I homeschool, and I've homeschooled, let me see, 5 out of my 7 children. The other 2 are babies. So I have 5 of them homeschooling. One of them is homeschooling through college right now, currently. And so I'm not an expert in education, and I'm not the best teacher or anything like that. And a lot of the things that I did, to homeschool my children was basically to buy a program, a self-paced program that they can do themselves. And I was just there to make sure that they were focused on their work and not getting distracted and playing video games or, doing other things that they shouldn't be doing. So if I were to create a homeschool program, and a lot of people have actually asked me if I could teach them, how I do it. How do I run a business and homeschool at the same time? How do I even just homeschool 7 children? How do I take care and be a stay-at-home mom? How do I do that? And so that's a program that I could create based on my experience. Now, if I created that program, I wouldn't just talk about my own experience. I would also bring in the experience of other people, and also the wisdom of different experts whose books that I have read and who have guided me through my whole experience, or organizations that I'm part of, and the things that they teach and their programs. I can leverage everything that's out there and couple it with my personal experience to create a program, a coaching or consulting program for homeschool. And I actually did hire a homeschooling consultant once. She had homeschooled her children through college, and she wrote a short book, and I read it. I was very inspired, and I just wanted to talk to her, and I just wanted to ask her questions. If she had a course or a program, I probably would have purchased it, but she was only offering an hourly consultation, which I purchased, and I talked to her for, about an hour maybe. I don't remember exactly how much I paid for her time, and it was very valuable to me. I was very inspired. I was very inspired by it. So, and she also doesn't have a degree in education or homeschooling or anything like that. It's just because she homeschooled her children, she was able to create a consulting program for homeschooling. Okay. Here's one more thing is even if it's something that you don't necessarily have experience doing, but you have a passion about it and you can only leverage other people's experience. There was one, I forgot what exactly his niche was. It was something to do with psychology. Maybe it was like, I don't remember, maybe like having a productive life, okay, or something like that. It was like a personal development mindset thing, right? So I don't remember exactly the topic was, but he was just someone who was interested in that topic, productivity, for example, and he just studied it so much, and he read so many books on it, and he just started speaking about it and creating courses about it, and eventually people started liking his message so much that they started inviting him over to be guest speakers at conferences and stuff like that. And so he built a business out of his passion that he wasn't an expert with and he didn't have any experience with really at all, but he was building this program. This basically was a coaching program based on his studies of how other people maximize their productivity. Okay, so just imagine right now the different possibilities of what kind of things that you can make, programs that you can make. And I'll go into more about the structure of these programs in a little bit. Okay, but I just wanted to give you those just kind of founding principles. So number one, let's just recap everything, right? We want to do something that is online, right? Because it's going to give you location, time, and financial freedom, or has the potential to, anyways, right? Instead of an hourly thing, okay? You want to pick a niche that is profitable, possibly health, wealth, or relationships. And there's a lot of things that can fall under those three niches. There's a lot of categories that can go under that, sub-niches, okay? And another thing is in order to get the drive or the energy to build this type of business and build the type of programs and courses to sell to people, you either have to have a passion for it, you have to have skill and experience doing it, or if you're a beginner, it can just be something you're really interested in and that you can leverage the knowledge and expertise of others. And just as you learn, you can share it with others. And when, by the time you, if you do it for a year and you're consistent about it and you do it, every week, let's say you publish something, either a blog post or a video or something like that, you will begin to start being recognized as an expert. If you do it every single day, it'll be even more, it'll be even faster. And then people will start coming to you with questions, and they'll start wanting to pay you for your expertise and for your guidance, for your coaching. And you can create programs learning programs where you have videos, where you teach people a skill and you also coach and guide them. Okay?